Welcome, boys and girls, to this wonderful edition of the story of Swordsman. Here we find little Swordsman just wandering around in his own hometown, the desert. It is a quaint little place with not much going around, but the people there learn how to make the best of what they want. However, what Swordsman really wanted was the better life and world. He dreamt of one thing and one thing only: going to the big city, bright lights, tall buildings, and even the possibility of having their own place, rather than sharing it with a bunch of ungrateful people. During that time, however, he had also tried to pitch this idea to other people. Guys, let's all go to a place where we haven't gone before, and actually get some real places that have buildings and stuff that's other than sand and cactuses. But of course, his ideas were not met with very positive reviews. Many of them laughed at him and went, "Ha ha 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 ha, you idiot. Do you even know how much it costs to go to the city? You are really delusional. You would be best if you just stayed here, plucking up petals and selling off some old tortillas. Though city life isn't for you, kid. You ought to stay where you belong." Determined, however, Swordsman tried his best to find a way to get there, but as he discovered, it was really useless. So useless, in fact, that he forgot that he didn't have any money. Ah, shucks. I knew I shouldn't have put all that money towards my gacha games. So, determined, Swordsman tried to find a new line of work, one that would get him where he needed to go. But of course, there was always someone out there trying to torment the poor young man, telling him that his dreams were just that, and that he was nowhere near where he had to be. Constantly tormented and reminded that, you know what, maybe his life isn't really worth getting to. That he should be comfortable where he is right now, rather than trying to pursue something rather unspecified. Of course, that did not stop the young squire from wanting more than anything. He wanted what he deserved, and what he caught on his eye was probably the most beautiful sword ever. I shall call you Betty. Of course, Betty was not cheap. She was a very expensive dame with very expensive tastes. But she still found a way to capture that poor swordsman's eye. Still determined to follow his dreams, the young squire tried to figure out how he could get to the big city. And of course, every result that he looked for, it resulted in even more and more heartbreak by the numbers. Aww. This is getting too ridiculous. You know what? Maybe I should just stop all this researching and go looking at something else. That's when he discovered that people are actually more than just what they appear to be. There are those that actually captured his eyes and his attention, making him feel loved. He even heard of this magical thing called virtual YouTubing. One in which people can actually become the cartoon character of their dreams and actually show off what they can really do and really interact with their audience, rather than just being some corporate conglomerate and getting their parents' money. That's when Swordsman hatched a big idea. If I can't get to the big city the old-fashioned way, then I guess I'm gonna have to do it the long way. After all, how far could it be to walk to the city? I got these 2 strong legs. I'm a very strong young man. I'm very capable. But I would get rather lonely. Not to mention, I don't even have the right tools for the job. So how the hell am I supposed to get there? Ah, shucks. Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to do it until I do it. In the grueling years that came, the young squire took up all the precautions he needed to get to where he needed to go, even to going as far as studying the martial arts under her very own sensei, teaching him the very useful techniques of the Far East, so that he could protect himself on the long journey ahead. After what seemed like 7 years of grueling punishment and constant smacking with bamboo sticks and paddles, he finally achieved the status of competent, the highest status any man can achieve. During that time, he parted away with his earthly belongings, so that he can get the one belonging that always mattered to everyone: money. With this little bit of a spark, I am determined to get to where I want to go. Now, there's only one thing I can spend on that'll make it worthwhile. A new city requires a new look. Thankfully, they got this snaggy new stuff for just a few bucks. Man, now all I have to do is convince the store owner to give me Betty, and I'm on my way. So the young squire took his treacherous trek across the hot desert sun, hoping that he will get there before dawn. I'm on my way there. Just you wait. Look out, big city. Here comes a new me. In the crying days of the hot sun, the young squire looked up to the sky with a smile on his face and a pocket full of dreams. Somehow, though, it turns out he forgot that time takes a long time, especially when you're walking. And considering that cars weren't even invented yet, the poor young man found himself in the worst of luck. Just another 30,000 miles, and I'll be there. Oh, I'm so thirsty. Why didn't I use the rest of that money to buy some water? Is this really how I'm gonna die? Oh, I can see it now. The great big derelict building in the sky. Hey, wait a minute. That's not heaven. Huh? Is that supposed to be a bar? But it's all crooked and it's really, really old. Who would live here? Well, I'm obviously not going to sleep on the dirt tonight. Might as well take a look inside. During that time, he went inside the whole building to find that it was indeed an old speakeasy. This place definitely had seen better days, and definitely didn't have the luxuries that most would want. In fact, some of the furniture looks like it could use a little TLC. And it definitely smells like rat doo-doo. And corn chips. And so, that is when the young squire hatched an idea. Aha! I got it! If money is what I need to get to where I need to go, then there's only one thing I need to do. If no one is going to give me a job, then the job is going to have to come to me. I bet with a little sprucing up, this place could be a real great shindig. All those fancy cocktails, real nice waitresses in bunny outfits, a lot of good jazz, a lot of dancing, a lot of singing, and I can even catch up on my shows here. What a great idea. Of course, not everyone was enthusiastic of this idea. Some would often get in his way, and at times, they would make him remind him on who's really in charge here. Not to mention, it just makes for a good conflict of interest. It is what people call in the industry character development. So, like any good swordsman would. He would draw his weapon and engage them in single-handed combat. Hey. Wait, hold on. What's going on here? Wait, what do you mean we don't have the budget for a fight scene? Wait, they spent it on what? Oh. How many? Oh wait, that's in yen, right? Dollars? Well, oh well. I guess we're gonna have to make the best of things. Ha! That was the most incredible thing I ever done in my life. Good thing all that training paid off, right, Betty? Don't worry, folks. Nobody really dies in these stories. They just get really big boo-boos. So, after some triumphant success and a little bit of help from some of his friends, our fellow swordsman has now opened his very own bar, the Crimson Sakura Lounge. A place of nostalgia, of good times and good drinks all around. And if a little tip comes his way, he definitely won't say no. It is indeed the kind of pathway of our little hero to his little slice of Americana. And as every drink he serves is one step closer to the big city. Alright, are we clear? Are we clear? Fuck. That was... Okay, folks. Alright. Let's close it up, people. Alright, that's enough. Everyone, go home. That's it. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, let's make on. Come on. Shoot.